Hello everyone, I am going to talk about the karma theory today. We all know that the karmas are the deeds that we perform in a given lifetime. These can be good ones and these can be bad ones. The good deeds will owe us rewards and the bad deeds will owe us punishments. But many a times we have seen that in a given lifetime a bad person is flourishing, he is doing very well, but a good person is suffering a lot, and these things can be understood through the past life karmas that the person has performed. So the karmas are basically divided into four types. The first one is the sanchit karmas, the second is the prarabdha karmas, and the third is the kriyaman karmas, and the fourth is the agami karmas. Now what are the sanchit karmas? Sanchit karmas are the sum total of the karmas that we have performed in our human births in the previous lifetimes. These could be the sum total of the karmas that we are containing, that our soul is containing. So it can involve many lifetimes. We can compare the sanchit karmas to a folder which contains many files, and each file can be called as a human birth that we have lived. So each file is having lots of karmas stored in that. So what happens is the soul, unless and until all the karmas are extinguished, will keep coming back to earth to balance out those karmas. Whether the soul is coming here to reap the benefits or the soul is coming here to get punished, it has to balance out the karmas. This can be compared to the energy which can never be destroyed. The energy will always keep flowing from the higher source to the lower source unless and until the energy is balanced. So the same theory flows for the karmas also. Unless and until the karmas are balanced, the soul will keep coming back to earth in the form of human birth, and it will try to balance out those karmas. That is why it is said that if you adopt this policy of forgive and forget, then you will be able to balance out or burn the past life karmas for which you have taken a human birth. Now let's talk about what is the prarabdha karma. So when the soul decides that it has to balance out the karmas of one lifetime, it will take human birth in the form of its prarabdha karmas. So it will take one of the files from the folder and it will take birth, and it will live the prarabdha karmas from the container of the sanchit karmas. So in the prarabdha karmas, the person will take human birth and he will again undergo some karmas, and the person would either flourish or the person would have some weak areas in his life which are related to his past life karmas and where the person would suffer. So I would say that there is no person on this earth who is totally 100% happy, and there is no person who is 100% having suffering. So the sufferings and happiness, they go hand in hand. Some people may be having lots of sufferings and some people may be having lots of happiness, but they are happening in everybody's life because a human birth happens because they have to relive or they have to burn out those karmas. That is the reason why good people sometimes suffer in a given lifetime. Now the third type of karmas, that is the kriyaman karmas, is the one that is in our own hands. So in a given lifetime, a person is entitled to take actions to react to certain conditions through his own will, and that will create new karmas or that will burn out the previous karmas, and that is called as the kriyaman karmas. So at any given point of time, if you want to check what kind of karmas, kriyaman karmas have you balanced, or what are the kriyaman karmas that you have developed further in this life, you can just make a prashna chart at a given time, at a given date and at a given place. The chart that you will construct would be of your kriyaman karmas. So there and then you can get to know what are the areas where you have done well and what are the areas where you still need to do well. So here you can compare this Kriyaman Karma chart to your birth chart and see where the planets are gaining strength or where the planets are losing strength. Suppose a person is born with a debilitated Jupiter, but because of his good efforts towards his family members, towards his education, towards his children, his Jupiter gains in strength. So at any given point of time, if he wants to check his Kriyaman Karmas, he would see that planet Jupiter has gained in strength. So it shows that he is burning out lots of his past life sins or karmas, due to which he was given a debilitated Jupiter in his prarabdha karmas. So friends, the Kriyaman Karmas are the only ones that we are having control of, and we should always try to adopt a policy of forgiveness so that we can burn out lots of sufferings in our lives. Because if we do not adopt this policy of forgiveness, what will happen is a cycle is created, which means, like, if somebody does bad to you, you will swear that you are going to take revenge from this person sooner or later, and you will at the right opportune moment you will take revenge from this person. Now what happens is, again a new karma is created, the person will again take revenge from you. So the cycle keeps happening time and again, and the person keeps taking birth time and again to balance out that karmas. But unless and until you forgive this person for the misdeeds that he or she may have done towards you, the cycle of birth and rebirth will keep happening, because unless and until these karmas are balanced or they are destroyed, they will keep happening in the form of births and rebirths. So it is basically the soul which is trying to seek salvation by burning out all the karmas, and it wants to merge with the higher source, that is the Almighty, and it will seek salvation. Now the fourth type of karmas are the Agami karmas. These are the ones which are yet to come. A special chart is made, that's again the Kriyaman chart. So that chart will tell you about the karmas that you have gained in this life and the karmas that you have burnt in this life. So based upon that, the soul will either go to the higher realm or it will suffer in a lower realm. And this idea can also be taken from a human horoscope, a living horoscope, which will show us where is the soul entitled to go after death. Because you come with a master plan, you take birth with a master plan, and everything is being shown from the horoscope that you are having at the time of your birth. The 12th house will tell you about the place where the soul will go immediately after the death. The 8th house is the timing of the death and it will be active, and the 4th house is the time before the death when the person is living. So if the 12th house is having Shirshodaya signs like 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 11 sign, these are the Shirshodaya signs, the signs which are rising from the head area, from the front area. So it means that the soul is entitled to go to the higher realm or towards the heaven after its death. And the signs which are falling in your 12th house, if they are the Prishtodaya signs, the signs which are rising from the behind, from the hind, these are the sign number 1, 2, 4, 9 and 10. These are the Prishtodaya signs. So they will rise from the hind. They show that the soul can go to the lower realm or to the hell after the death of the person. So it means that you still have control over the Kriyaman karmas, and you can burn many of your karmas, so that at the time of the death, the new chart that is made can be more elevated and it can take you towards the higher realm. Now similarly, the 5th house and the 9th house will tell you about your lifetimes. So the 9th house is about your previous life and the 5th house is about your future life. So if you are having a planet which is exalted in your 5th house, or if the 5th lord is exalted It means that the next birth is also going to be in the same country where you are living. If the fifth lord is in its own sign, or if the fifth lord is in its friend sign, then also it means that the next birth would be in the same country. Similarly, if the fifth lord merges with the ninth lord, if it is conjunct with the ninth lord, it means that your future birth could be in a place of your past birth, because ninth house is your past life. If the ninth lord is exalted, or if the ninth lord is in its own sign or in its friend sign, it means that you were living in the same country where you are currently in your past life also. And if the fifth lord is making a connection with your ninth lord, it means that your future birth is into the same place as your past life birth. So friends, these houses 1, 5, 9 are always very important houses. You would see that people who are having the same ascendants like your 1, 5 or 9 houses, suppose you are born in the Aries ascendant and the other person is having a Leo ascendant and the third person is having a Sagittarius ascendant, you will always see that these people are always favorable towards you, and these people are the ones who have met you in your past lives and they will meet you in your future lives too, because these are the signs which are associated with your ascendant in a trinal way. So the trinal houses are very important. They show your connections of lifetimes, and these people will always be friendly towards you. Similarly, if some people are having the ascendants which are 8th to your lagna, or which are 6th to your lagna, or which are 12th to your lagna, it means that these are the people who have developed some karmas towards you, or you have some karmas towards these people, and in this lifetime you will have to undergo some sufferings through these people when they meet you anytime in your current life. Next thing is that if your ascendant lord is sitting in a fixed navamsha, that is 2, 5, 8 or 11, these are the fixed navamsha signs. So if your ascendant lord is sitting in a movable navamsha, it shows that you will be able to burn out the karmas of your current lifetime. It means the sins that you have performed in your prarabdha can be burnt through your efforts. But if your ascendant lord is sitting in a fixed navamsha, that is 2, 5, 8 or 11, it means the karmas that you are holding on in this current lifetime cannot be burnt, and no amount of remedies would work for you, and you will have to undergo the sufferings. Similarly, if your ascendant lord sits in a dual sign, that is 3, 6, 9 or 12, it means some of the karmas of your past life, that is your prarabdhas, can be burnt, and some of them have to be borne by you. So you may have to undergo sufferings in certain areas of your life. Similarly, the entire horoscope can be studied by seeing the placement of each house lord in the navamsha. So those areas which are entitled through a given house and their lords, if they are sitting in a movable sign in the navamsha, will tell you that these are the karmas that are earthed. It means they can be destroyed through efforts. But if they are sitting in fixed signs, it means these are the drid karmas. They will not be destroyed by any amount of efforts, and you will have to bear the brunt. But if they are sitting in a dual signs, it means they are sitting in drid adrid signs, and some of the karmas can be burnt and some of the karmas cannot be burnt. So friends, adopt the policy of forgiveness and try to balance out the karmas by overlooking the faults of others, and try to do your best so that the sufferings that you are undergoing in your current life can be burnt through your conscious efforts, and you will be able to cut the cycle of sufferings in this life itself, and it will pave the way for your soul to merge with the super soul, that is God, and seek salvation. So that's all for today. Stay connected, and I'll see you with my another video very soon. Bye friends.